And with that, they left. I was happy that they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it on them just because they were my best friends. We had the entire day to work. The party was tonight, and we had to do all we could to make everything right. We sat down and talked about what needed to happen before the party started that night. Plus, I need to prep them about my parents. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch, we began to work. Since everything was taken care of by at least one incubus, James told me I could assist one of them. The question was who? James with the garden, Sam with the front yard, Matthew with the cooking. Oh, Matthew! Eric with the dining room, Damien with the lobby. I love Matthew to bits. I love Matthew to bits, but my right now my horse is Damien. Damien with the lobby. I stayed in the lobby with Damien, who nodded to me and passed me a dust cloth.
We have to dust off the railings and other surfaces before we mop the floor. Is that okay?
He's so adorable. He's not forceful at all. He's so gentle. He's so gentle and sensitive and understanding. This is the kind of guy that I would if this happened to me. Damien is so disarming, which can also be very dangerous if he's trying to pull the wool over me. But if he's pulling, if he's like putting on an act, I'm dead because I would have just I would have fallen for it, totally fallen for it. I nodded and rolled up my sleeves, climbing the steps of the staircase. Easy as cake. Both Damien and I began to climb to the top of the stairs, wiping the dust off the railing as we went. However, a silly idea came into my mind. I looked over to Damien, wondered if he could read what I was thinking. As I expected, Damien looked over in slight surprise before giving me a slightly concerned look.
What if you get hurt?
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I did all the time as a kid. Damien stared at the rail and thought. My mind began to wander to how much fun my idea was, hoping my thoughts would convince him. Damien sighed softly before smirking slightly and nodding. Woo! I quickened my pace on the rail, dusting as quickly as I could as I got to the top. Damien followed quickly behind on the opposite side until we both were at the top of the stairs. We both then jumped up and sat on the top of the rail, sliding down each other like a roller coaster. There was a lot of thought on the execution, but not much to stopping.
Watch
Oh
out!
no! Whoa! Did I fall on top of him, or did he fall on top of me? Our brakes had become us slamming into each other. Oh, we did. And landing on the floor, him on top of me. I stared up at him, surprised as he looked down at me in concern. None of us knew what to say. Laugh. I started to laugh. I didn't know why, but I couldn't control myself. I closed my eyes and laughed in pure enjoyment of what had just happened. Damien began to laugh as well, smiling widely. Oh, Damien, you're so adorable. Both of us ended up laughing on the floor. Damien rolled off me and held his stomach as I held mine. We were both completely engulfed in joy.
You were right. That was
See,
fun.
I'm glad that I can help Damien loosen up a little bit. This is it's a give and take. We both cover each other's weaknesses and amplify each other's strengths. See, I told you. Both of us curled into ourselves, facing each other in laughter before we looked at each other with smiles. However, Damien's face softened as his laughter slowly died. He smiled with happiness in his eyes and a blush across his cheeks. I stared in surprise, my face turning red in return, but my mind going blank. I couldn't stop staring at Damien's smile. Something about him was just completely charming. His eyes had a mixture of happiness and a small bit of yearning. Soon, though, Damien stood up and reached a hand down to me, breaking my silent thoughts. He's such a gentleman.
Come on. We need to keep
I
cleaning.
think I was able to read his mind there. He's such a gentleman. I love that about him. I slowly nodded before standing and continuing to clean alongside him. The tour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials before the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and the executives at the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. It was my test to see if I could really if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank, but even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through the living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
All right. Oh, wow, you guys look so cute. And I love your... Oh, wow, look at us. I love that. Love that wine red dress. Whoa, we look amazing. Naomi looks cute as usual, and I love Suzu's trend. Love your outfits, girls. Well done, bravo. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi's and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. What?
Dude, you look hot.
Thanks.
Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
That's a good question, girls. I've had it for a while. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. She does look hot. We do look hot. Whoa! Speaking of hot. Whoa! Guys, you look great. You look great. I kind of wish that Damien had a little bit more color in his outfit. Because, I mean, I'm loving the green. Matches with Sam's eyes. Good. The gold vest. It's really nice touch. Matches his eyes, too. Would have been nice if you had some purple. Maybe he does have a purple cummerbund. I mean, Eric's of course the most stylish one of them all. He's the dressiest with his red shirt. Love it. And oh, look at little Matthew with his baby blue vest. They're so cute. Oh, guys, well done, guys. Mwah, well done. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. I guess they look more like servants then. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down with that final step, smiling. James is a true gentleman, too.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you, James Potter. Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
As ready as I'll ever be. I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. This party was more than what it seemed, and I had done all I could to prepare for it. Now it was all up to fate. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Oh, wow, look at you guys. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. Don't question it. Don't question it, Harkura. Just go with it. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? Oh gosh, they had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mom quickly rushed to me. I'm wondering if they can use their powers to get my dad to finally talk to me. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit. The mom here looks a lot like my mom when she was her age. My mom's still really beautiful even to this day. I hope that when I get to be my mom's age, I look half as good as she does.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. Hey, I cleaned this lobby, so it better be up to your standards. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me, and when he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless, which makes me wonder how much of this is actually genuine and how much of this is because of a little assistance from our little incubi friends. Thank you, Daddy. However, his face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
Oh, here we go. What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight.
Right.
Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
Oh, that's right. That's what this is all coming down to. I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked at the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I'm really glad I had the 5 guys helping me with this, because all of these people, I would never have been able to, gotten everything ready for them. This short notice, too. Even if I did have short notice, I wouldn't have done this without any help. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Conceal, don't feel. It's like playing the game in Game of Thrones. How do you feel?
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
It's been pretty good, actually. Could it be better, to be honest? I'll be doing my best. It's difficult being independent. I wish I was still living with my parents.
I'm so sorry about your...
Oh!
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Oh. It's been okay, I guess. Well, I guess I feel fine.
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Let's go. Thank you for your condolences.
Do you have college plans?
There's a possibility. I felt like the questions came one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me, they were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
It'll get back on track soon.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
If it were up to me, it would be Wait, what happened?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
I don't know what the philanthropic policy that reflects my answer said. If it were up to me, I'd be concerned with making profits. Oh, wait.
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
It's a possibility. It's a toy company. Why? No, I don't think that makes any sense. It's a toy company. Why? Eventually, the question stopped and I was going back to being myself. Naomi and Susie were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
Okay. Oh, hi! With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand. And he's got an orange cummerbund. It's getting dangerous, guys. Orange is my favorite color.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
And I love the name Andrew. I'm a big fan of the name Andrew. Andy Kadash. Come on, my second Inquisitor. Big fan. Simply nod to him. Place your hand in his. I'm gonna give him a chance. Yeah, I mean, the other incubi, If the other incubi wants a chance with me, they're gonna have to work for it. So if this new guy came up, so yeah, I'll give him a chance. I'm not gonna blow him off right off the bat. He seems nice so far. Good first impression. We'll see what he's about. Place your hand in his. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand. Watch Andrew be Malex or something. Watch him be the antagonist or the leader of the band of misfits that attack the demons or something. Maybe he's in a different form, like his, I don't know, disguise. We'll see.
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
He's very handsome, guys, and I like his hair. I mean, so far I don't have any issue with this guy. He's definitely in the running, too. Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
And he's got history with Grandpa, so he's got a lot going for him. Oh wow, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He's Malex. He's Malex. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Oh, here we go. Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well...
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe he doesn't actually want to take over. Maybe his dad is forcing him to.
Of course not, sir.
He seems sweet.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Oh, Andrew. Oh, Andrew. Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. I'll follow him. I quickly followed Andrew, wanting to be sure he was all right. I felt a little embarrassed that my dad put him on the spot like that. I had to apologize. He seems like a nice guy. I'm going to find out what his deal is. I want to know his story. We wound up outside. The stars practically danced on the grass as we stood in the backyard of the mansion. It had been my first time in years being out there, but my thoughts weren't on the nostalgia. Hey, Andrew? Andrew turned to me in surprise. However, his face was completely red in both embarrassment and humiliation. I felt terrible.
Oh, I didn't see you or hear you following. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should be the one to apologize.
What for? You didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, for the way my dad behaved, he shouldn't have been so...
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I should have expected it and been more prepared.
Andrew rubbed the back of his neck and gave a goofy grin. He sort of reminds me of Linguini from Ratatouille a little bit. Just a little bit less bumbling and clumsy and awkward. He's kind of awkward, but in a charming way. It was intriguing, seeing Andrew's professional side and then seeing a goofy smile away from everyone. Still, I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, really, but thank you.
We both smiled at each other before I reached my hand out to him. He tilted his head and raised an eyebrow in confusion. Harkura. My name is Harkura. In understanding, his smile returned before he took my hand gently and shook it.
That's a pretty name. I'm happy to know it now.
Nah, it's not that nice.
I have to disagree with you. It's much better than Andrew. I mean, who names their kid Andrew?
I like the name Andrew. A lot of people do.
But how about Axel? Or Ace. Something cool like that.
No, I mean Ace might fit you, but I like Andrew for you. I couldn't help but laugh at him. He was pretty chill for a guy who was supposed to be a vice chairman's son. He grinned and laughed along with me. I mean, he's pretty much, him and I, we have a lot of in common about how we are, I'm the granddaughter of the CEO, the late CEO, and he's the son of the vice president. I mean, we've got some similarities. We've got some common ground, that's for sure. I don't know why, but I felt warm. Whether it was the almost non-existent breeze or the situation we found ourselves in, it felt nice.
Lewis.
Oh, Mr. Anderson. Huh. Lewis. And just like that, the feeling had vanished. We both turned to see my dad at the doors of the mansion, staring at Andrew with almost a deadly glare. Lewis? His name's Andrew, not Lewis. Andrew straightened up, trying to maintain a business posture.
Yes, sir?
Is Lewis his first name and Andrew's like his middle name?
Your limo is in the front. The driver has requested that you return home. Now.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, poor Andrew. I feel bad for him. Oh, gosh. Andrew quickly nodded to me before speeding back to the mansion to leave. As I took a step to follow, my dad stepped in front of me. Dad.
I don't want to hear it. Do not become friendly with him. He wants to take the company away from us. You have no reason to be friends with him.
It's not up to you, Dad. It's not up to you. Guess what, Dad? Grandpa didn't leave the company with you. He left it with me. Well, he left the estate with me. And if anybody has any say over what happens to his company, it's me, not you. Sorry, Dad. Before I could retort, my dad turned away and walked back inside, muttering about how the party was nearing an end. I sighed and entered the house as well, wanting for the party to end immediately. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, really? Are you bipolar? Is my dad bipolar? Poor thing. Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
We'll see about that. Oh, right.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
Thanks for coming, girls.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Sounds like fun. Right, see ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
I love you, Mom. See ya. Will do. Hey, boys! All 4 of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. Phew! That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Thanks, Sam.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
Thank you, Matthew. You're so sweet. Can I give you like a kiss on the cheek at least? You're like an adorable little brother.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
It's part of the deal, boys. You get to hang out here and stay away from trouble and danger and all that, and you get to train, and in return, you got to help around the house. Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
The voice is in my head. All of us shot our heads towards the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Oh God! Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine. Roughened up clothes and a pistol in his hand, I saw a monster. I covered my mouth not to scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman and matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find
Out!
you, did you?
Get out of my house! This is my house, demon.
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. You did not just shoot Sam. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What the fuck?
What?
What should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed in its empty shots as the man grew more and more peed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
Nice.
What did you say, shrimp?
Hey. Don't you dare call Damien a shrimp.
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
Nice.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Means you're out of luck, bub. Sorry. The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malex.
Oh my god, my dad? My grandfather? Wow. Malex. That was his name. It kind of does sort of look like Andrew a little bit. It might be Andrew, who knows? Might be pulling the wool over our eyes, we'll see. That was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malex did. This place is protected by magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
He's a wizard. My grandpa was a wizard. Thank you, James Potter. Malex's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
What's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malex and the boys. With no power, Malex wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Get out of my house. Leave them alone. F off. Oh gosh. Do I want to be zesty? Oh gosh. You know what? This guy's ticking me off. F off. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. Malex suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief.
Whoa! Who let the bitch out of her cage? What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Malex grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. Duck. I ducked underneath Malex's incoming hand. I stared at his hand and his black flame tattoo in surprise as I took a couple steps back from Malex. Matthew and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malex with their arms.